Hi everyone, this is an SAP FICO training video for fixed assets. Today we are covering the topic of valuation and closing. If these SAP training videos are helping you on your SAP training journey, please like, share, subscribe, and comment in the chat. Let me know how many years of SAP experience you have. As you all know, I like to put my information in question answer format. And without further delay, let's get into it. What is asset valuation? The process of determining the fair market value of assets. What is the value of the asset valuation determined by? Running a periodic depreciation program that gradually reduces the value of assets based on predefined rules, also known as depreciation terms. What is an asset class and asset type? How do depreciation terms relate to each asset class? They are different for each asset class. How do depreciation terms relate to GAAP and IFRS? Depreciation terms can be different for different valuation rules. What is the strength of new asset accounting? The flexibility of depreciation terms to fit different business requirements. Our focus now is on new asset accounting concept. How does SAP provide parallel valuation? Through multiple accounting and tax principles using different depreciation areas. What was the classic general ledger used for? Asset reporting purposes only. With the invention of the new general ledger, what could be posted? Differences from different valuation rules in different non-leading ledgers. What was the disadvantage of the new general ledger difference postings? It lacked real-time integration. Why did the new general ledger differences postings lack real-time integration? The system would post delta adjustment documents to non-leading ledgers to provide the value according to the alternative valuation approach that represent should represent. Workarounds and manual work was required. When did new asset accounting come into existence? SAP ERP add-on, SAP Simple Finance, then SAP S/4HANA Finance. What is the key benefit of new asset accounting? Real-time integration of asset accounting with the general ledger. Posting of separate documents from the different depreciation areas in the non-leading ledgers. With parallel accounting in S/4HANA, what happens when different values result from an acquisition or depreciation document? The system automatically posts separate documents in separate number ranges to leading ledgers OL and to non-leading ledgers in real time. In SAP Simple Finance, the S/4HANA add-on for SAP or ERP, is new asset accounting optional? Yes. In SAP S/4HANA Finance, is new asset accounting optional? No, it is mandatory. Since new asset accounting in SAP S/4HANA is mandatory, what must be planned when upgrading from SAP ERP? Time and project activities to convert from classic asset accounting to new asset accounting. What program will help check that all new asset accounting migration prerequisites are met? RSA, RAS, FIN underscore MIGR underscore pre-check. For new asset accounting, this program checks customizing data and transaction data. This is important because underlying technical changes occurred in the landscape of fixed assets. What underlying technical changes occurred in the landscape of fixed assets? Line items are posted in the Universal Journal Table, AC-DACA, and classic asset accounting tables are obsolete but still exist for compatibility views. What needs to happen to custom programs that read the obsolete classic asset accounting tables when upgrading to S/4HANA? They should still work and should be tested. What needs to happen to custom programs that write to the obsolete classic asset accounting tables when upgrading to S/4HANA? They need to be updated if they are to stay in use. That concludes the new asset accounting concept. Moving on to multiple valuation principles. Focus now, multiple valuation principles. Is it likely that the same fixed assets should be treated differently based on different valuation principles? Yes, it is very common. What part of the valuation is different for fixed assets in GAAP compared to IFRS? The useful life and the method of depreciation. What is the half year convention of depreciation? Depreciation for half a year should be taken in the year of acquisition of the asset and in the year of its retirement, regardless of when it is required, and it's common in the US. What does the half year convention results in? Different depreciation amounts compared to IFRS or local GAAP that does not use this method. How is the management of different valuation principles in SAP achieved? By using different depreciation areas. Which ledger is depreciation area 01 linked to? The leading ledger. What should depreciation area 01 represent? The leading valuation from the point of view of the group. What is the leading valuation for US companies? US GAAP or US or IFRS? What is the leading valuation for European companies? IFRS. What are other common depreciation areas for? Local GAAP and local tax. What is managed in local GAAP and local tax depreciation areas? Specific local accounting principles and specific local tax rules for each country. What is the link between the depreciation area and the ledger? The accounting principle. Menu path to configure the depreciation area. Financial accounting, asset accounting, general valuation, depreciation area, define depreciation areas. Double click depreciation area 32. That'll bring you here. This screen shows the definition of the depreciation area. Here, you can assign an accounting principle in the depreciation area. Note, an accounting principle must also be assigned in the general ledger. Menu path to assign accounting principle to ledger. Financial accounting, global settings, ledgers, parallel accounting, assign accounting principle to ledger groups. That concludes multiple valuation principles. Moving on to depreciation key. Focus, depreciation key. What is a depreciation key? A configuration object that bundles together multiple depreciation calculation methods. What does a depreciation key contain? Various settings required to calculate the depreciation amounts, such as method of depreciation and time control. What are some of the depreciation calculation methods found in the depreciation key? Base methods for linear depreciation, declining balance methods for the depreciation that's faster at the beginning of the asset life, and multiple or multi-level methods that change during the useful life of an asset. Menu path to standard calculation methods, financial accounting, asset accounting, depreciation, valuation methods, depreciation key, calculation methods. These are the base calculation methods that usually meet business requirements. What is period control? A setting at the depreciation key level that determines when the depreciation should start and end. Menu path to configure period control. Financial accounting, asset accounting, depreciation, valuation methods, period control. Click Define Calendar Assignments. Here, you can define period control methods and define their calendar assignments. For each fiscal year variant and period control method, you can define the period after which the depreciation calculation will start, acquisition, and after which it will end, retirement. For method 11, next month, depreciation starts at the beginning of the month following acquisition and finishes in the next month following retirement. For acquisitions that occur between dates 1 through 31 of period '01, depreciation will start at the beginning of the following period, '02. Menu path to configure the depreciation key. Financial accounting, asset accounting, depreciation, valuation methods, depreciation key, maintain depreciation key. This is a list of existing depreciation keys. This is where you navigate to the underlying calculation methods. Click the gray box to select the straight line over remaining life pro rata to 0. Double click assignment of calculation methods. These are the calculation methods being used by the depreciation key. This depreciation key has two phases. The first phase's methods will be valid until the changeover happens, which was defined previously. The changeover will switch to the methods of the next phase. There are various changeover methods available. If you need to copy a depreciation key, be sure to make it begin with Z or Y so it's not deleted during system updates or upgrades. That concludes depreciation keys. Now we will cover the depreciation run. Focus, depreciation run. What does the depreciation run do? Posts the calculated depreciation values to the assets on a periodic basis. How often does the depreciation run occur? Usually monthly. What is the difference between the depreciation run program in SAP ERP and the depreciation run program in SAP S/4HANA? Program FAA underscore depreciation underscore post replaces program RA post 2000. What transaction is used for the depreciation run? AFAB. What technical improvement causes AFAB to perform better? The new depreciation program posts pre-calculated plan values instead of calculating these values at runtime. Where are the planned depreciation values updated? In table FAAT underscore plan underscore values. Where are the financial documents that are posted by the depreciation run posted to? Table AC DACA at the asset level. Menu path to depreciation run. Accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, periodic processing, depreciation run, AFAB, execute. The depreciation program can be run for multiple company codes at the same time. Accounting principle allows you to run the depreciation either for a specific principle or for multiple principles at the same time. This may be required if several accounting principles have different periodic requirements. How often can the depreciation program be run in the same period? Multiple times. How many assets is the test depreciation run limited to? 1,000. How must the real depreciation run be executed? In background mode. Since the depreciation run must be executed in the background, how do you view the display log? T code AFBP, display log. What kind of documents does the depreciation run post? Separate documents for each accounting principle and ledger. What are all post run fully integrated with? The general ledger in real time. This concludes the depreciation run. Now let's cover revaluation. Focus. Revaluation. What is revaluation? A process required in some countries where companies operate in a high inflation environment and must periodically revalue assets to represent them at the current fair value. What needs to be configured for revaluation to work? The general ledger accounts the revaluations will be posted to, depreciation areas, revaluation measures, which are rules. Menu path to maintain revaluation accounts. Financial accounting, asset accounting, special valuation, revaluation of fixed assets, and maintain accounts for revaluation. First, you must select the chart of accounts and the depreciation area. Here, you assign the revaluation accounts. APC stands for Acquisition and Production Costs. Menu path to configure depreciation areas for revaluation. Financial accounting, asset accounting, special valuation, revaluation of fixed assets, revaluation for the balance sheet, determine depreciation areas. Here, you determine whether APC, depreciation, or both are relevant for depreciation. Menu path to configure revaluation measures, which are rules. Financial accounting, asset accounting, special valuation, revaluation of fixed assets, revaluation for the balance sheet, define revaluation measures. This is the date the system will post the revaluation to fixed assets. This is the base depreciation area that will provide the values. This is the revaluation area in which the revaluation will be posted. The actual revaluation rules are too complicated to be configured, so they must be programmed by using a custom implementation of BADI FIAA underscore revaluate underscore AS. Menu path to FIAA underscore revaluate underscore AS, financial accounting, asset accounting, special valuation, revaluation of fixed assets, revaluation for the balance sheet, implementations for add in for revaluation and new valuation. This concludes revaluation. Now let's cover manual value correction. Focus. Manual value correction. What is a manual value correction used for? To increase or decrease the value of an asset manually on an asset by asset basis. Menu path for manual value correction. Accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, posting, manual value correction. Manual value correction transactions. Write up. Manually increase the value of an asset. Manual depreciation. Post manual depreciation to specific asset. Unplanned depreciation. Post additional unplanned depreciation. Transfer of reserves. Create reserves for some asset transactions, such as undervalued assets. Menu path to assign general ledger accounts for manual corrections. As Pro, financial accounting, asset accounting, integration with general ledger accounting, assign GL accounts. Here you have the option of assigning general ledger accounts for manual value corrections. This concludes manual value corrections. For our last topic today, let's cover year-end closing. Focus: year-end closing activities. What is balance carry forward? A year-end closing procedure that transfers the year-end account balances as beginning balances for the next year. Menu path to balance carry forward. Accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, periodic processing, closing, carrying forward, balance carry forward. This is the balance carry forward screen. What is the balance carry forward for fixed assets a part of? The balance carry forward transaction for the general ledger. Starting with SAP S/4HANA 2020, when is the new fiscal year opened? After the program has processed all assets successfully. Which assets are processed by the balance carry forward program? Active assets and deactivated assets. The following programs are now obsolete because FA is integrated with the general ledger. Fiscal Year Change Program, APC postings, RAAB STO1 and O2. And that concludes our training for today, you all. If these videos are helping you on your SAP FICO training journey, please like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment in the chat. I just wanted to know how many years of experience you all have in SAP. Thank you all for your time. And as always, until next time, peace.